back to Jamie's Man Cave. Welcome back to the Naughty or Nice Stout list as we're counting down some that might make the top 5 list stouts that you can find in your supermarket that are affordable, that you can supplement your indie craft section with. So, specially selected from Aldi this time round, coffee stout, rich, dark and indulgent. Brewed in the UK in partnership with Hall and Woodhouse. It's 5.2%, and Hall and Woodhouse is the ones that do Badger beers. Yeah. This one's specially selected, rich, dark and indulgent with subtle coffee aromas, caramel and vanilla notes, complex yet perfectly smooth. Not much else to say on the back. Yeah, so the Badger beers, Hall and Woodhouse, independent brewery, which I wasn't, when I briefly looked them up before the video, wasn't expecting to see that they were independent, so that's good. Oh, whiff of coffee. That does smell a lot like coffee, which is a good start. If you've ever used a coffee machine or one of the little stovetop pots, which the name escapes me right now, cafetiere, the grounds after you've used them, when they're all a bit mushy and no good anymore, when you tip them out into the bin and that smell comes back out of the bin, that is what that smells like from a distance. And then there's a smell of toffee. Yeah, toffee, caramel smell, coffee, maybe a bit of vanilla. So, Global Beer Masters Gold Award in 22 and a Great Taste Award in 22 as well. I'm not sure whether I've seen it before. I don't know if I've had it before, but I don't know if they just bring it around in winter or if it's always available. I don't remember seeing it all the time, but let's see if it can make the list. The Indie Brew, Indie Beer delivery made it. It's arrived. It's going to be on the podcast. We're recording tomorrow night, so that'll be out next week. There might be a couple of reviews from them beers. And also my Brews a Beer box is going to get delivered anytime this evening. So more beers to review, more beers to put in the cupboard for Christmas. Oh, a bit of coffee bitterness, toffee, caramel, slightly sweet, some vanilla, and I can't quite make my mind up. I think it probably is, but I can't quite make my mind up if that sweetness is an artificial sweetener, maybe. Do you know what? That is quite a decent, beer, quite a decent coffee stout, especially for this purpose because it's a couple of quid. Obviously, it's easy to get hold of in Aldi. It would be perfect. Get a few bottles of that stocked in the trolley when you do your Christmas shop. Whack them in the cupboard. Ready for your visitors and your guests, or ready for you to just sip away on if you don't want to use all of your indie beers up straight away, or even if you haven't got the budget for indie beers and you just want something like this just to stock up on. That's a good tasting beer. There's enough going on in there to sip away on. Yeah, there's a little bit of bitterness there, like a really dark chocolate, or maybe it's the coffee bitterness Then there's a little bit of toffee caramel sweetness. Slight bit of vanilla. Lingers about. You can tell you've tasted it. Like obviously, like when you've had a coffee, it lingers in your mouth afterwards, sticks to your tongue. It does that. And at 5.2%, that's not too bad. It's a contender for the list. I think it makes the list. It's interesting. Now I don't know if now that this makes the list, does it knock the Robinsons one out of the list? They're both similar. That one might be cheaper. Maybe they both go on the list with the Menadu. And then I'm going to venture into the supermarket and see what else I can find. Done Asda. Maybe I'll see where I'm passing, but Tesco or Morrison's. Sainsbury's isn't too far away. I could try there. I know Sainsbury's last year did the chocolate orange stout, their own sort of specially selected range. So I could go and try and find that because from what I remember, that was really good as well. So Aldi specially selected coffee stout. It makes the list. Worth sticking in your trolley next time when you're in the Christmas shop. Stock the cupboard up. Anyone that comes around that likes stout, or even yourself. Yep, cheap alternative to some of the craft and indie stuff. More craft and indie stuff reviews coming up on the way, podcast stuff coming up on the way, the Christmas episode, and the more beers I can find for the naughty and nice list. Until then, I'll see you next time. Cheers.